Alright folks, hello and welcome back to Downstage Gaming. I'm your host Josh, and this is part 28 of our Let's Play of Head as Code. When we last left off, everyone was freaking out about this video with the twins and Ray that I think we're way off base on. I still think that somehow that's from a different timeline or a past event and we're running through this cycle over and over again. But meanwhile, while everyone's freaking out about that, we let Jasmine in on the little note that we found that somebody shouldn't be here. We get all freaked out because we have our vision of, like, us seeing the pods in the reactor room. And, then we pass out and presumably have caught back up to where our sort of in media res story started. Which means we're back at the moment that Jasmine just got shot. We believe, at least at the time I believe, probably for finding the remote. So, suddenly cast myself awake. How long had I been there? This had been so uncomfortable. Yet all my memories were back. All my memories from the moment I woke up in the train to this very moment came back to me in that uncomfortable nap. I touched my face. I felt groggy. Slowly, I rose up by sliding my back up the wall. I was back here in the present. I was back here in this absurd future. Jasmine. With a raspy exhale, I looked over at the darkness nearby. Surely enough, her legs were still sticking out. She was dead. A surge of pain ran through my entire head, and I brought a hand up to support it. Wincing with one eye, I stumbled forward, falling back to the ground with a groan of pain. Ugh! Jasmine, I remember your death. There was a gunshot. I clenched my teeth. Who was it that shot her? Did I manage to figure it out? Another vision flashed, much like earlier. Yeah, I mean, it has to be Agnes, right? Especially if the remote is gone. I gritted my teeth when I remembered. The vision I just had was a piece of my memory. I was accompanying E, and there was A, the old man. Not A, but Agnos. His name was Agnos. That old man had a gun. That old man shot people. That old man was a terrorist. That old man was my enemy. It's you, isn't it? You fucking asshole. A's your name. It stands for asshole. Got him. Nailed him. Gah! I punched against the ground, leaving behind nothing but pain through my hand. I held my fist with my other fingers, rubbing over it as if to soothe the pain. This is all your fault. All your fault. All the fault of your stupid safest bet. You should burn in hell. I let my rage wail and scream profanities and damnations. For several minutes, I was nothing but the instrument of my ire. A twisted typhoon of feelings was raging around my head, which I translated into punches and kicks. You know, healthy emotional stuff. I eventually tired myself out, figuring this wouldn't do anything. Jasmine was already dead. But this wasn't the first time Jasmine died, was it? What I saw, that wasn't a lie, was it? The reactor, his place, the shooting, the people dead, Jasmine dead. Is Marco dead too? I have to find them. We have to meet Agnos at his own game. Ugh. Wait. Something didn't feel right in what I remembered. Vats? I saw some pods, or vats. We were in those pods. Jasmine, what are you? I crawled over to Jasmine. Perhaps what she held on her would give me some kind of lead on how to proceed. I didn't want to touch a corpse, not her corpse most of all, but I had no choice. In the vision of that memory, all 8 of us were in there. A ray of hope showed in my head. What if Jasmine wasn't Jasmine? Was she in the vat at this very moment? I pressed my hand against her side, slowly. It was solid. I knew bodies went stiff when you died or something. Rigor mortis, was it? But not to this extent. It was really solid. No, I couldn't get hopeful. I shook my head. I didn't want to get a hope that I would lose. I didn't want to be lured by fate. I mean, I'm fully willing to go down that everyone here is robots or clones of the people in the vats alley. That's totally something I'm willing to believe at this point. But I wanted to finish the examination anyway. I resigned myself to it and took a deep breath. Ugh. This doesn't smell good. Still, I grabbed onto her side. Normally, there would be a bone here. This would be the thoracic spine, probably, but this felt smoother. Against my better judgment, I decided to knock against it. It echoed. What is this? Perhaps my hope was founded. Her body was heavy. I tried lifting it again. It definitely felt heavy. It was heavy. It was echoing inside. It was abnormal. Are you the person who doesn't belong? We're all the people who don't belong, Simon. No. All of us were in those vats. What does it mean? As a last resort, I decided to look into the wound on her forehead. Inside, I could see some cables. But now this... What's interesting about this to me is that Okay, girl who looks like Hannah and said she was an android seemed to imply that she knew that and would imply that the rest of us were humans. So, like, is she just not knowing that we're all androids, or is her android case different if we're all androids? I don't know. There was blood, and it was disgusting, but it was metallic inside. Like some kind of robot's head. After all this time, this is the answer? Or is this a cruel joke from Smiley? Is this not even Jasmine? Is this well, it's not Jasmine in a number of ways. Is this a fake? Did they try making me think they got Jasmine? In reality, she's not here? A loud noise came from the tunnel. I quickly realized it was the sound of a train coming by. Oh, this should be good. Was this Agnos rolling in to finish the job? I decided that he wouldn't get me so easily. However, when the train arrived and I looked at the other side, I saw two figures leave. One of them was a large man. Okay, Marco and Ray were back. Quickly, I jumped into the lobby. I climbed even faster up the stairs and emerged into the lounge in record time. So is this going to finally get back to what I was initially worried about with this happening? Which is that everyone's going to blame Simon for this? For Jasmine's death? Marco, Ray, are you there? What's going on? Marco and Ray both entered the lounge at that, screaming. The older one squinted at me as if I was disturbing him. I didn't have time for his shit. Jasmine got shot. In the head. Marco's eyes opened wide. Jasmine? At that point, a detail suddenly struck me. Marco didn't have his left arm. What? The coat he wore was tied up in a knot at his shoulder. I pointed at it in all my rudeness. You're always rude to point, Simon. No time for this. Oh no, Marco. What do you mean, Jasmine? He looked even more confused than I was. Whatever, it's A. He did all of this. He did this too. We're going to barricade here from now on. His name is Agnos. How do you know that? Too stupid to explain. It's Agnos anyway. That motherfucker. I balled my hands and fists and kicked the nearby couch. Marco did the same, which served only to hurt his foot. I'd never seen him this angry before. My eyes were looking at his missing arm again. Ray was carrying something wrapped in cloth. It was a very arm-like package. Yeah, don't look at me like that. I didn't do anything. It's like he said. That old guy overpowered us both with a gun, and Marco shoved me away. Then there was an explosion. His entire arm got the brunt of the shots, all 5 of them. I guess the 6 got into your girlfriend, huh? Shit. The explosion got his arm kicked off anyway. If he had not shoved me out of the way, I would have gotten those shots right in my chest. I guess the price was the fact his arm got blown away in the blast. I'm willing to bet Agnos is Smiley. Nope. No. A maniac who just likes killing people. Okay, that sucks. Alright, first things first, that stinks. I mean, it really sucks, but some other shit is going on here. I was talking like Ray now. I had to shake my thoughts away from him for a bit. Jasmine got shot, and she's not Jasmine. She's really weird. Go look downstairs if you want. At her dead body. I looked into the wound, and there were wires and crap. Okay, I have several questions then. First of all, that's Jasmine, right? No, I'm telling you, that's not Jasmine. But she's Jay. Like, her name is Jasmine. Where was he going with this? I didn't understand what he was asking. Yes? The Jasmine you spoke to me about, right? Yes, she's Jasmine, Jay, like Jasmine, the Jasmine that I'd known before, the Jasmine I hadn't seen for years, the Jasmine who's supposed to meet us today, and... Was he drunk or something and not able to recognize her? Didn't you see her already? Okay, are we finally gonna get to... There's clearly been something riding on that original train ride, because it keeps flashing back to that. I've had a couple of things pop up in my head about this, but I don't quite know what the deal is. When we were heading home in the train earlier, before all this fucked up shit started, Simon... He paused. I suddenly had a bad feeling. I wasn't going home with you earlier. I finished classes before you, like every Friday, and I was at home, waiting for you to come back so we'd go out. You told me about her a lot, but I have never met Jasmine. Not today. Not before. Until Smiley got us, I'd never seen her. Ever. Almost mechanically, while I watched, unsure of what he was telling me, unsure of reality, unsure of my memories, he walked away. Slowly, he walked away through the doorframe and left Jasmine's side of the station, most likely to examine her himself. He never... I turned to Ray. He never met her. This is what I remember. How could it... Ray was visibly at a loss on the topic, holding his head as if he had a headache. Ray, come on. You gotta be my rock here. Sitting on the couch, he dismissively waved at me. I thought maybe I could wrap his sleeve to stop the blood, but he's lost so much of it. It's a wonder he's still alive. But when I say alive, you know, it's more like... He seemed a lot more apprehensive all of a sudden. As he explained it to me, something clicked in my head. As he spoke, I was made aware of a truth I'd been running away from this whole time. His shoulder. It had wires and shit, too. When I say alive, I mean that he's artificially alive. His body is heavy. So yeah, it's gotta be the case that we're all this way, right? It's not human. What? Marco is not human? Is he like Jasmine? Smiley... I clenched my hands in fists in another fit of anger while Ray, uncaring, drank from his flask. Smiley, come out and answer our questions, you fuck! Why does nothing make sense? The security footage, the note about the person who doesn't belong, the vision of the vats, Jasmine being a fake, Ray with a twin dying in the security room, Marco not knowing who Jasmine was, Marco being a human robot person too. Why? Who is here? Who the fuck are we? What is this place? I slammed my fists on the table in front of a couch, cracking its legs and breaking it in half as easily as if I'd cut through butter. After that, I dropped into another couch and closed my eyes, tormented by every demon imaginable. Okay, I've finished my examination. She's like me. I woke up to Marco announcing his findings to Ray. He sat down next to me as soon as I made some space. He looked completely discouraged. I don't know. I don't know what's going on either. During the silence, lingering past his admission, I looked at my hands. 2 pieces of evidence connected as I did so. 2 people were confirmed as robots, and the twins were still alive despite what I'd seen. Are we all robots? I looked at my hands even harder. I turned them around, felt at my arms, but nothing seemed off. Don't bother trying to feel it. You won't. I didn't have any hints either. All I know is that I feel very much like a human. This is wrong. Very wrong. Ray was drinking from his flask. If he wasn't, would he have gotten angry? The real question was, what would he be getting angry about? The fact we're insinuating we're robots? Or the fact we're fixated on it? Hey, Ray. Are you a robot too? You have to tell me if you're a robot, legally. Do you feel weird? He grunted some form of disapproval at me. Apparently, he didn't either. None of us had any telltale signs. So when the fuck are we barricading this place? Reminder that your girly friend, Jasmine, got shot in the head and died like a person either way. If we ain't getting this up, then we ain't living tomorrow. To be honest, I just don't care about it. I don't care about anything. That was the original plan, but it doesn't matter. There's a real me somewhere out there, and it's not me. I'm from nowhere. I'm a fake. I'm not here, I'm not there, I'm not anywhere. There's no place for me. Well, you know, you're still you. I don't really care if you're a robot or not. So how... I mean, okay, this is assuming that we are a robot ourselves, Simon. How freaky would that have been then for H, who then watched us melt in the reactor during that one timeline and watched us basically revealed ourselves to be an android as well. That'd be a weird situation. Yeah, listen to your bucko there. Besides, if you're missing your arm and you're a robot, we can get you an arm cannon later, and maybe you can become a cool bounty hunter from space. This all seems pretty rad. Okay, you don't have to listen to him anymore. Simon's done talking. It's just better to focus on our current problems. We got Smiley to catch and this place to leave ASAP. I guess his missing arm would be a current problem too. He's a robot, so he's not really healing, is he? There's no pain anymore, so maybe... I was no psychologist, but I could help by reaching out and giving him a pat on the shoulder that wasn't injured. That's gonna help. He gave me a half smile. Ray shook his head and stood up, leaving us alone. I'm concerned, though. Jasmine was... she was still human. She felt real. She had thoughts and dreams and other things that people have. What manner of event is this? Marco gave me a weird look. I don't mean anything by it. It's just... I don't know. I have all the memories from when I wasn't a fake, I guess. I don't feel any different, but I could be a robot, too. Want to cut off your arm to check? Even while feeling down, he was still a Joker. Still mad Joker energy. You're gonna get the opportunity if the two of you don't actually help to fucking barricade this place. Agnos could get here any moment. I stood up alongside my friend. While we toiled away in silence, I thought about a few things that might have been relevant. I didn't know if Marco's bleeding was a sign that it had healed, or that he wouldn't feel any of it. Come to think of it, wasn't it like something he told me earlier? He told me something like, hunger is just a signal. If hunger is fake, then us being hungry wasn't proof of anything. I thought that it might have been something first thought that might have been something robots couldn't feel. Upon reflection, that wasn't helpful. Wait, earlier? That never happened in this timeline. Marco told me earlier, but when? When did that happen? The library? I'd never gone to the library with him. We moved some of the couches up to one of the two entrances, blocking it completely. Surely, if Agnos was a robot just like us, though, this wouldn't stop him much. Ray and I moved back to the other pair of couches, readying ourselves to take hold of them and carry them to the other door. What else could help, though? I had to gather everything on over. Alright, let's do... Oh, whoa, what? What? That was scary. Didn't even get a moment there. Ray fell over from beside me, and I turned around to look at what was happening. Was it Agnos? No, Ray was stabbed. What? Agnos had a gun, not a knife. Marco was stabbing Ray. Huh. No resistance at all. Did I just get lucky, or what? Ray smashed his fist against Marco's leg, but the boy didn't care. Instead, he pulled the knife out of Ray and slammed it back into his chest, forcing Ray to give a raspy exhale. He probably hit his lung. Oh, there it is. Did you hear that? That's metal. Yeah, I can feel it when I twist the knife a bit. Doing that caused Ray to wail out in pain. If you're still alive, it's thanks to me anyway, so you should consider yourself lucky. Oh, wait, no, you're not alive. You're a fucking robot, too. We're all robots. We're all dead. We're all just fucking dead. Deal with it, Ray. Just deal with it. No, fuck you. Marco had spoken without any emotion behind his voice. I could only watch in horror as my one-armed friend stabbed Ray just like that. It was like he gave up. Why did you do that, Marco? Everything was improving. Improving? I shielded myself with my arms as his tone grew angrier. I backed up to the barricade until I fell against it. Nothing's improving for us. It doesn't matter. We're not even alive. We're dead men walking. You fuckwit. I'm not a robot. Who the fuck is a robot, huh? Sadly, those were his last words. Ray expired momentarily. Marco must have severed some important cables as if to prove the fact Ray was, just as well, a robot too. I didn't understand. I watched the horrific sight with a large man cold on the ground. There was blood there and it smelled metallic. It smelled so strongly metallic, in fact. Marco, can you check where the blood comes from? Marco stared into Ray's wound like it was nothing. He didn't care. He looked so detached and so disturbing at the same time. The blood is from his body. I can't really tell where it's from. It's just bleeding, I guess. Does that answer your question? Oh, wait. That's not blood. Just some kind of fluid that looks like blood. You know how blood has this weird metallic taste since there's iron in our blood? This one's just like that. Some kind of liquid that seems to be surrounding the metal and flowing over it. That's why it smells like metal. The blood we have picked it up from our bodies. Hilarious. He wasn't laughing, though, and neither was I. I tried to rise up to do something about the situation, but he immediately lunged at me. I thought he would stab me, but all we did was fall down. I was on my back, and Marco straddled me, looking very dangerous. My hat! my very important pizza hat, no! Instead, he launched himself into a monologue. I don't really know what to think anymore. Remember what I studied in? Probably not. It's the field of applied pneumatics. I studied on thoughts, what they are, how to apply that knowledge in the field of science. In one of the classes we had, there was this giant thought experiment about some theory called the Ship of Theseus. Players of 999, I was trying to think, was that 99 real life? Players of 999 will remember this. To put it simply, it's basically a story about guys replacing the parts on a boat until none of the original parts are left. Didn't really have the heart to interrupt him, but the entire time I was looking at his knife, hoping he wouldn't want to subject me to Ray's treatment. I quietly listened due to that same knife's close proximity. That's where the original theory ends, because the question is that ship the Ship of Theseus? To which there is no real answer, because you could say the parts are the ship, or the rebuilt ship is the ship. But they also added another part to it. They told us the original old parts were used to build another ship, made entirely of the parts of the Ship of Theseus. Then we were left the question, which is the real Ship of Theseus? The ship that had all its parts replaced, or the new ship made of the original parts? You may be wondering what this all has to do with our situation. Well, I'm Marco, alright, but I'm a robot, so I'm not Marco. But I know very well that I'm Marco. I remember all the things Marco did. I did all the things Marco did too. Who am I? Am I Marco? I didn't know what to tell him. I felt like if I said anything bad, he would do something I didn't want. But perhaps there would be a calm way out of this situation. I needed to show that I shared his sentiment, so I said... Nothing. Is this gonna be one of those things where we'll get a choice again next time? Well, time's up. Time's up? Yeah, time's up. The time for the dating game is over. There's nothing here that awaits us. Nothing but eternal darkness. Darkness for you, me, and everyone else. Good night, Simon. I'm sure the real me would have loved to keep being your friend. He stabbed me. I grabbed his arm, trying to stop him, but it was too late. Even the hand I had on his chest wasn't enough to push him away. One of my eyes shut down when he did so. He drove the knife into my chest, and that most likely severed part of my body from functioning properly. Are you Simon, anyway? Maybe you're not. There's some resistance here, so you and I, we're just the same. All of us here are robots. Maybe this is just a joke. A big joke, kinda like a bad nightmare I'm going to wake up from. If that's the case, then why am I not waking up? I was on the ground, unable to move. My body had lost its central control station, or something like that. It was disconnected now. I could do nothing but watch as Marco looked positively out of his mind. If this is a nightmare, then I'll wake up. If it's not a nightmare, then I'll die. Either way, it'll be over. There's nothing here anyway. Even with all this installation, they fucked up. The empty S sucks. Something flashed in my head while my body was shutting down. I saw a letter. The letter M. Something told me it was the final letter in a 5-letter word. Final letter. 5 letters. Marco, do you know what it means? It means nothing. You're just going mad because I fucked up your body. I don't know what it feels like. Sorry. I don't know what anything feels like either. I don't feel. I'm just a machine. I could tell my brain wasn't working right, so perhaps the next images I saw were fabricated. I saw Marco pick up the knife. There's nothing here. The empty S can go fuck itself, and God doesn't exist. He's not here or there or anywhere, just like me. We're all just like God. We're all dead and we're all gone. And he drove it into his own body. He fell on top of me, obscuring my sight. I could see nothing. We spoke our final words before the darkness came. Wait, don't... Are you... I don't know what the empty S is. Is it the empty S? Montreal Transport Society? The MTS has nothing to do with this. It's always been the MTS. The group I'm from. They will change the world. Okay, interesting. The MTS. Okay, I get it. The future is the MTS. Are you smiling? He couldn't answer since he'd stopped moving, fallen on top of me. No, I think if he was smiley, he would probably not have been shocked by the fact that we're robots. He was already cold. It had been nigh instantaneous. Just like him, I expired. Dying was like that, huh? I didn't get any answer, and I couldn't see Marco anymore by that point. There was only darkness. I understood now. I did not die. I was turned offline, like a robot. That's why there was darkness. That's why there was darkness when I died. Every single time. Whew, boy. Okay. So I feel like we are now even closer to what I already think is going on here. I think the vats contain the real versions of us. Of the 8 of us. Or at the very least, that's like the source code, right? That's the we get the robots or the clones or whatever from those ones in the vats. And we're repeating this system over and over again. I don't know what the purpose of it is yet, but for some reason we're doing this over and over again, and with each time, slightly different choices are made, and so different things happen. But this is all happening within one timeline, I think. I don't think we're actually in different, like, multiple universes or whatever because of different choices. I think this is all happening within one timeline, but each time different choices are made, which makes it so that different events carry out. But then we always start back at that beginning point and things go through again. That's where I'm currently at. I don't know what the heck this whole thing that Marco is a part of is about. I don't know if we know that this, well, no, yes, we do know that this, the Empty S must be another organization that Smiley is against. Because that one ending, he says something about how, like, oh, you may have won, but I have lost because the MTS will get you now. So just like whatever thing Agnos belongs to, I think they're a faction against Smiley as well. Interesting, interesting. All right, well, that is going to have to do it for this time. I think the last... Oh, I see. This connects to there and then back to here. Okay. The last thing I will say quickly, as I'm thinking about the events that just unfolded there, is finding out that Jasmine was not, or that Marco was not there. I don't know how to reconcile that right now. There's definitely something weird going on with his memory of that event, especially as he keeps flashing back to it. I wouldn't be surprised if Jasmine really wasn't there either, but I don't know what the what the deal with that exactly is. So when we next come back, then we will head back first to here. This is probably just a bad end that we'll experience here. And then we will head back to here and probably be on our path to the last letter. Oh. Probably an S, huh? If we're looking at what the letters are, or maybe an I? No, SM. It's probably an S. Yeah. Smiley. Alright. Well, we will have to figure that out as we go into things. Jump back into the flowchart here next time. Until then, this has been Downstage Gaming. I've been your host, Josh, and I will catch you all next time.